Alright folks, we're going to be doing a video on how to ride a motorcycle. Let me just get my cell phone here. And you know, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to ride a motorcycle, but it's hard to find one where you have all the things you need to know in one video, like counter steering. We're going to show you that. Riding on the freeway, we're going to show you that. The twisties, we're going to show you that. So this is going to be a jam-packed video with tons of information, and we're going to be taking the epic Kawasaki Z1000 1043cc motor. It is liquid cooled, fuel injected, 6 gears, and let's get on and let's talk to you about the gauges, okay, and what all the gauges do. So you always get on the left hand side. We're going to be showing you how to start off riding, and then we're going to get into advanced and also twisties. We'll show you that. We'll show you some high-speed freeway riding. So on most Japanese bikes, everything on the right has to do with, you know, moving and also braking. So notice the front brakes here, this lever, this is the throttle to get it moving and braking. Let's go over here so I can show you something. And this is the rear brake. So you put your foot here, your heel here, and your toe, where my fingers are, hits that for the rear brake. Front brake, rear brake. Now let's see if I can find a stick around here. Perfect. Well, wait a minute. This is even better, this straw. So let's talk about shifting. So this is the gear shift lever, and this is the part that always confuses people. Then we're going to get on the motorcycle and we're going to show you how to ride as if you're a beginner, and then we'll get into intermediate and advanced, all in one video. Don't forget to click below this video for some other motorcycle videos we've made. Now, this is what confuses people. This is how you shift gears. So imagine your foot's like this with your toe under this right here where the straw's touching. If you're kicking up, obviously you're going to go up in gears on this bike. Some bikes, they reverse it. We're not going to get into that right now, but most bikes, when you get them stock, when you kick up, you're shifting upward, and when you move your foot on top and you kick downward, you're shifting downward. Now, what do I mean kicking downward and upward and all that? So the gear shift pattern is like a ladder. You have first, neutral, second. This is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. First, neutral, second. We're going to talk about that. We're going to show you how to do that within a parking lot. So when you're new, go to a parking lot like this where there's not a lot of cars. This is a 6-gear bike. Most bikes are 5 gears or 6 gears. So it's first, neutral, second. So if I want to go to second, I just kick up right here, and I bypass neutral and I go right into second. Then you have third, fourth, and then 5 and 6. So let's get on and show you some stuff. How do you shift? So notice the neutral light's on. See it right there? What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the clutch lever in here on the left. This is the clutch lever. And then I'm going to kick down. This is the starter. This is the kill switch. If you tip the bike over, you crash, you shut this off right away. Or even if you go to stop somewhere, you can just shut it off like that without using the key, which is here. This is the eject button. You only use that in case of emergencies, and you know we're kidding about that. Let's see. Yeah, okay. These are the brights, turn signals left, right, and then here's the horn right here. Now, this is just a handlebar. So go to a parking lot like this, pull the clutch lever in. On the count of 2, I'm going to kick down. Watch. 1, 2. Now we're in first, but I'm holding the clutch in. Just like a car, you're better off to learn how to drive a car first, stick shift, before you do a motorcycle. It'll help you a lot. But notice I can move the motorcycle forward and backward because I have the clutch lever in. I haven't engaged it in gear yet. If I let the clutch lever out, watch, I'm not giving it any throttle. See how we're moving forward? Then I pull it back in again. If I were to just let the clutch lever out without giving a little bit of throttle, it would like hop forward and stall. So what you're going to do, go to a parking lot and practice taking off in first gear. Taking off and stopping are the main things that you know, you want to learn, of course, because that's the most dangerous things if you don't know how to do that. So as the clutch is being let out, I give it a little bit, listen, a little bit of throttle, and I fully release the clutch lever. Now if I want to stop, watch this, clutch lever in, slowly squeeze the front and rear brake with, you want your left foot to go down. Notice the handlebars are straight. Always keep the handlebars straight, because if you come to a stop and your handlebars are crooked, you're going to fall over. So do that a bunch of times. Take off and stop, take off and stop. Now we're going to go on the road and I'm going to show you some things. Watch how we stop. Clutch lever in, slowly squeezing the brake. Notice we're still in first gear. I'll let this person go. Now watch this. Oh wait, I have a person behind me. Slowly let the clutch out while giving it throttle. So watch. Remember, first, neutral. Watch what happens if I slightly kick up from first. Watch the light. See how the neutral light's on? But if I were to go all the way up, and when I mean all the way up, I mean kicking metal. You just go up and you'll feel metal there. Go ahead, brother. Then I would be in second. So watch. Now we're going to go out on the streets and find a parking lot where you can do that. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the basics because you'll learn how to go in first gear like in a day. Now watch. We're coming to a stop. I'm in first gear. Pull the clutch lever in. Get both feet coming down. Keep that handlebar straight so you do not crash. Always keep the handlebar straight when you're coming to a stop. Now watch. Release throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to second. So this is key to know. You always release, wait, we're in second, so let's stay with it because we have a green arrow. You always release the throttle first, then you pull the clutch lever in, then you kick into the gear you want, then you release the throttle. Remember, release throttle, pull the clutch lever in, kick into the gear you want, then you release the clutch lever over here on the left, and then you go back onto throttle. So now we're going to get on the freeway. So watch. Slight kick down from second puts us in neutral, so we were in second. We're going to let these cars go so I can get you the full gist of our launch. So on the freeway, speed is life. You want to be going slightly faster, I would say, than the cars. Well, they're not going, so let's go. Here we go. Go through the gears with me. First gear. Second. Watch how I release the throttle, pull the clutch lever in, kick up to third, release the clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. Now, there's a motorcycle guy here. I do not know him. Honest to goodness, this is unrehearsed. See you later, brother. So we're going to get off here because this place over here has some twisties, but this guy has some skills. You can tell because see, whenever they have that the cage, he's got skills. We should have him do the video. Now we're in sixth gear. Watch what happens. You don't want to be putting your brakes on going around the corner if you can help it. I'm downshifting. Now I'm leaning into the corner. I have not put my brakes on. It's dangerous. You increase your risk of crashing. See the fire up there? I don't know if you could see that. You should put this on full screen. You increase your risk of crashing when you put the brakes on around the corner. Now watch how we come to a stop. I kick down to first. Now, slowly let the clutch out, give it throttle. Now we have some twisties up here. Release throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to second, release clutch lever. This is what I'm about to teach right now. If you don't know this, it can get you killed. Counter shifting. It's so easy, but people freak out about it. All counter shifting is by applying a pressure or pulling on the left or right handlebar, you will lean the bike and force it to go into a certain direction. So I'm going to show you how you can practice counter steering even while you're going straight. Okay, be very careful when you do it. But if I'm going straight and I pull back on the left-hand handlebar, we're going to veer into the right lane. You don't pull back a lot, you just a slight pressure back. Pulling back on the left and slightly pushing forward on the right will lean me into the right lane. Likewise, pulling back on the right handlebar and slightly pushing forward at the same time on the left handlebar ahead of us will make us go into the left lane. Let me show you how, and this is great. We have 50 mile per hour speed limit. Pulling back on the left, we go to the right. Shifting up, pulling back on the right, we go to the left. So make sure if you're doing that, you know, there's no people behind you, they think you're drunk. But pull back on the left, notice it goes to the right. Pull back on the right, notice it goes to the left. Now, why is that important? Because these bikes are heavy. And at high speeds, like I'm going to show you right now, you cannot just lean. Let me do something here. Let's go here. Because I do not want to have to wait behind these cars. So we're going to come here, we're going to wait. Figures, we'll follow this motorcycle guy here. I was going to wait, but since I saw this dude here, we'll mirror him. This is actually really good. I swear this isn't rehearsed or anything. So I wanted to get some distance so I can show you the counter steering at faster speeds, but it's even better when there's a motorcycle rider in front of us. So watch this. What I'm going to do is we're approaching here. The corner is going to go to the left. So I'm going to pull back on the right handlebar, and that is going to lean me into the left. It'll actually force the weight of the motorcycle to turn left. Now watch. Actually, we're going kind of slow, so we don't have to do it here. We can just kind of lean it. But I'm going to show you where this dude in front of me, he looks like he's a skilled rider, where he's going to, yeah, he's definitely got skills. I notice he knows where all these bumps are. He's going around them. So when we get up here, what he's going to do is, dang it, now we're going slow. Let's see if we can pick up here. We're going up a hill, so watch this, downshift. So you always want to make sure, like when you're kind of just cruising, on this bike, I don't like it to go down below 3,000 RPM. See the graph right here? We're at about 4,500 RPMs. Now, if there's a graph on my GoPro video, you should be seeing a steep hill incline. Now he's going to use counter steering. He's going to pull back on the right handlebar right here. And watch, I'm going to do it too. Watch on 2. 1, 2. See how that shifts it? Now I'm going to pull back on the left handlebar on 2. 1, 2. I did a little bit earlier because I don't want to go into the fire truck. Now notice he's not having to brake. You see, you can use engine braking, and you're not like let's see, I can go all the way up to 6th gear, right? But see, now I'm coasting, like that motor's loose. So what you can do is just kind of go down to 5th gear, and we're at like 3,500, 4,000 RPMs. And if this dude goes left, look at all those hills up there. If this guy goes left, then you're going to see some really good corners, and I'll be able to talk to you about that. Now, when you're coming up to a light to stop, let's talk about stopping. Let's go, so I'm all the way up to 6. I'm just coasting. We're going about 50, 49. So what I do, and this is the right, proper way to do it when you want to come to a stop, don't go up to the light in 6th gear holding the clutch lever in, and then when you get there, frantically try to go down to neutral. That is the amateur way of doing it. What you want to do, I mean, you have to do that in like, buddy, you have to do that in like a panic stop, okay? You just pull the clutch lever and put the brake on if you have to panic stop, because you don't have time to downshift. But we have time now to downshift. So watch this, what we do. We're coming up to the stop sign, right? We're in 6. So what I'll do, notice my hand's off the throttle. I just went down to 5th. See the tax at 3,000, go down to 4th. Now it's dropping to 3,000 again. Every time I downshift, it goes up a bit. I don't want it to be below 3,000. Now, of course, I'm in 2nd. And let's see if he goes left. Now notice, down from 2nd, I go to neutral. This is good. He's going left, so left is good. Thanks, brother. So the motorcycle guy is going great, and this is where we get into some counter steering. Now watch, we're in 2nd, release throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to 3rd. These are some twisties here that you can see what I'm talking about. So sometimes you'll be riding with a group of guys and there's some new riders that are going along with you and they're not as seasoned yet where they know how to take the corners and whatnot. So what'll happen is they will try to lean around the corner, which you can't do. You really have to learn counter steering. So what did we tell you about braking? Remember, handlebar straight. So I'm going to show you something when we get to the stop sign here. So notice I was in 2nd, I put it in neutral. We're kind of like coasting along. So watch how I come up to now he's got like a roll bar. So this guy does stunts. His legs must be sore because he's standing up. Now we're going to have to get off because we're coming up to the twisties. Now notice we got interrupted by the motorcycle guy, so we're going to, he's got a GoPro also, we're going to get off here. The stop sign here, you go like this. Notice the handlebar straight. Watch, this dude probably won't even put his foot down. We'll do the same. Put it in gear. All right, let's get on it a bit here. So right here is a good example of counter steering. What you're going to do, you're going to pull slightly back on the left, and when you do, see how it leans it like that. Whenever you're going around sharp corners, and we do have some coming up, like this one here is a good example. Watch this. Pull back on the right handlebar. That guy is definitely counter steering there, and that'll lean your bike. Now, the heavier the bike is, the more you're going to be utilizing counter steering, like these Harley guys. You know, those bikes are like so heavy, you really have to use counter steering to shift them in a more positive position on the road. If you're getting a motorcycle also, let's say you were riding roads like this, you don't really need something like what I'm riding. This is a 1043cc. This thing is a beast. It's like hard to keep the front end down. It's so torquey. So you have to take off. Watch his left foot. You have to take, oh, he's going that way. Okay. See you, brother. So what we're going to do now, we're going to turn around and take you on a more advanced route. It's kind of sandy here, so whenever you're in dirt like this, keep your both feet kind of down. You don't want that make any sudden movements with the throttle. So please tell me there's nobody. Oh, awesome. No one's there. So now I'm going to take you back on a more advanced pace. You come to a stop, clutch lever in, notice left foot goes down, keep the handlebar straight. So no one's behind me, so I want to show you something. If you come to a stop and your handlebars are like this, all the weight is going to shift. You're going to be off balance and you can tip it. This is why sometimes I've been at a light and a motorcycle rider comes to the light and he just falls over. That's what happened. So watch, we're going to show you some stuff here. We're going to do some counter steering. I'm going to pull back on the right handlebar. Just show you. On 2. 1, 2. We're going to upshift. I'm looking for this one corner where a lot of guys that ride through here, if they're not familiar with it, they always eat it. What you're supposed to do when you're going around the corner, see this corner here? Hey, brother. You look for the exit of the corner. So you could tell this one, watch, I'm going to pull back on the left on 2. 1, 2. Pulling back on the right slightly here. Upshifting. So how do you come to a stop? So it's sort of like a plane, a jet plane coming to a landing. What you're going to do, notice stop sign, I start downshifting while I'm coasting. I haven't braked yet. Now I start putting the brakes on. Now watch, I'm going to be in neutral. And after a while, go ahead, brother. Let me back up for this guy. And for myself. Don't want to get hit by beef junkies. Another great thing to do if you're a new rider or you want to be a new rider, sign up for MSF, Motorcycle Safety Foundation. And I signed up for that, and basically if you've never ridden a motorcycle, it's great. They let you sit on the motorcycles, they let you ride them very slow in a parking lot like how we first started this video. And I'm taking you, we're coming up to those high-speed mountain roads, and I have that motor real tight right now. You always keep it where it's real tight, so if I release the throttle, it'll slow down. If I pull the throttle back, it'll accelerate instantly. Watch. Of course, this thing is a beast. This is like my favorite motorcycle that I've ever had. It's just unbelievable. All right, here we go. So we're going to go through here. I'm going to show you some counter steering. These are more like the dangerous high-speed counter steering parts of the mountain, but there were other people in front of us last time. But notice, let's see, there's no one up there, so good, I can show you. Now some bikes, you get those little Ninja 250, Ninja 300. That's great for areas like this because it's not very long stretches of high speed like freeways, but you'll probably keep it in 5th gear going up here. Like watch this, I can go all the way up to 6th because this thing just has so much torque and power. So now we're in 6th gear. So watch how we go through here. We're going to stay in the middle of the lane. We're going to pull back on the right. Get ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. I went out a little bit because of that big truck. His mirror. Here's another one here. I'm going to pull back on the left on 2. 1, 2. Just slight pressure, you're pulling back. Pulling back, not here, we don't really need to. Right here we're going to. Pulling back on the left on 2. 1, 2. Pulling back on the right. And the left, pulling back on the left. Looking around that corner. Don't want a stalled car there. Pulling back on the right. Notice we're still in 6th as the mountain shoots us out into the valley. I don't know if you can see that fire over there that was going on earlier. Beautiful day. So counter steering is something very important. You want to go to the left, you're going to pull back slightly on the right. Watch. 1, 2. That's how you do it. You kind of do it right before you're going into the corner. Watch. 1, 2. Pulling back on the left, holding the pressure there. And the bike will lean and you'll kind of just go through it like that. So now we're going to show you getting on the on-ramp on those curved on-ramps where you don't slow down. Those straight on-ramps are a lot easier when you're new because you can see everything like that first on-ramp we were on. But here you're coming off of a curved